Everything started in the Himalayas for you, didn't it? And now you're still running a trip there after all these years.
Yeah, the Himalayan heights is where it all started. I discovered more or less by accident the route that we now do on a regular basis, our Himalayan Heights tour. And we now still run pretty much that same program many, many years later. We do the highest road in the world, which is in the Indian Himalayan region of Kashmir.
Now that's one of the great highlights of any motorcycle world trip, is riding the highest motorable pass in the world. How do people feel when they get up the top there?
It's a very popular destination these days. The highest road in the world is 5,600 metres. As you might imagine, when people get to the top of the Kadung La, as it's known, they're a bit short on breath but high on exhilaration. There's usually high fives and a little bit of a yahoo. Not many places in the world offer the opportunity to travel to 5,000 metres and beyond on a motorcycle.
And to get there, we've come across the 3 other highest passes in the world. So, you know, there's an enormous sense of achievement to finally be at the pinnacle. Quite frankly, you just feel invincible. You can do anything.
And one thing I remember from when I did it with you guys was the trip back down with the engine off. And was it 37 kilometres? If you get it right, you don't have to start your engine for 37 kilometres till you get to the bottom.
Yeah, take off from the top with a bit of a run up, find angel gear, kick it into neutral, turn the ignition off and sit back and see how far you can go.
What did you first think of a Royal Enfield when you rode one?
I had nothing else to gauge it by because I'd never been on any other motorcycle in my life, so I jumped on an Enfield and I thought, this is fantastic.
What an introduction to motorcycles.
Isn't this the most powerful thing on the planet?
I've got to say it's exactly the right pace for going up through those mountains, which have got to be one of the most spectacular places in the world. The views are sensational.
Absolutely. Around every corner is a new vista.
The Enfield certainly is an integral part of that tour. It adds to the specialness of it. You kind of putt slowly up those hills and down the other side, but it gets you up there reliably and down the other side, and there's just an enormous sense of majesty, not like anywhere else in the world, and it doesn't matter how many times we've both been there, it never diminishes. It's an incredible part of the world that we certainly think everybody should experience.
We go across successive mountain ranges in the Himalaya to get to the highest road in the world. Then of course we come down the other side and we exit through Kashmir. We go out and we spend a couple of days on the houseboats on the Dal Lake in Srinagar in Kashmir. There's one night camping required. How was that, Mick, for you? We camped out at 4,200 metres.
I reckon camping's in a swag if you're lucky. This was luxury camping, so you can't call it camping. But spending a night effectively under canvas out there in the high Himalaya, wow.
Before we get to the Himalaya proper, of course, we have to go through the foothills, and we start in a place called Manali. The Rotang La is only 3,900 metres, so it's not really one of the high ones, but it can often be one of the most challenging ones.
Yep, I remember the mud there. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of laughing, a lot of falling.
Knee-deep mud most of the time.
We've quite often had the Enfields get bogged. People jump off the motorcycle to try and drag it out and they find themselves bogged in the same mud. Yeah, it can be challenging, but a whole heap of fun.
Great fun.
One thing I remember is just how much fun it was watching people react to you as you went, because they're all so happy and smiling. They love seeing you go past on a motorcycle.
Yeah, the Indian people are an absolute delight. They're very expressive and exuberant. I think they're very free with their emotions. People make eye contact all the time. There's a lot of smiling and a lot of laughing.
And it all finishes with a quick visit to the Taj Mahal too, which is magic.
Yeah, we find ourselves in northern India, so we go and make a little side trip down to Agra and visit the wonderful Taj Mahal.
India is a great example of how so many diverse cultures and religions can live in harmony. It's an enormously populated country on the planet, and yet there's such a diversity of faiths, of outlooks on life, and typically people can live in incredible harmony on a regular basis.